Hey friends, and welcome back to day 24 of our January yoga journey on Move with Katie. Today we are going to be exploring some basics. So we are going to really dive deep into all of the different warrior postures and how to correctly align what sensations we should be feeling and how to move through them. Now I'm hoping we can do this in a fun little flow, but you're on this journey with me, so let's see what happens. We're going to start at the top of your mat. Okay, and from the top of your mat, let's close down the eyes, maybe ground down through the feet, letting the big toes touch. Heels can be slightly apart. Tuck the tailbone, actively engage the core, face the palms forward. Take a little Tadasana, mountain pose here to really just get grounded and energetically connected with the present moment. Taking a big inhale in, exhale, let it go. Inhaling here. And then exhale, let it go. Now, we're going to flutter the eyes open and sweep the arms up overhead because many times our warrior poses are traditionally taught in a sun salutation. So we're going to take the beginning part of that and work into our warrior one and move from there. So exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, plant the palms, and we're going to step or hop it back to a plank pose, lowering through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, lift the heart, flip over the toes, and exhale, step it back to a downward facing dog. Now take a minute. I know these are the first movements we're taking together. Maybe not your first movements today, but maybe they are. So take a moment just to bend the knees, press the floor away, ground down into finger pads and knuckle pads so you really shrug the shoulders away from the ears. And start to just tell the body that we are here, we are awake, and we are ready to go. And then we're going to inhale, sweep the right toes high. And as you exhale, bend the knee in towards the nose, and we're going to compress the knee by lifting up, press the floor away, compress the knee in towards chest, and then set it down in between the thumbs. Inhale, and we're going to start here from a lunge, and then we're going to move through our warriors on the right-hand side. Okay, so starting here in a lunge, what you're looking for is tucking the tailbone under ever so slightly and feeling that nice stretch through the front of the left hip. We're looking for a grounding and activation here in our quads and the front leg, and really grounding into all four corners of that front foot. So feeling what that might feel like, paying attention to it. And then we're going to play with warrior one. So this pose right here, this lunge, can be a really good alternative to warrior one if that doesn't feel good in your body. But we're going to move into it because we're doing all the warriors today. So for warrior one, you're going to take that back heel and you're going to drop it to a 45-degree angle. Now you'll notice what happens to the pelvis is that it starts to open. That's okay, no problem. Leave it as open as feels right to you. In traditional yoga, you might be taught to try and square your hips to the front of the mat, but that can place a lot of pressure on the back ankle if we don't have a lot of mobility there. However, rotating the hips forward does help you to work on that ankle mobility, and that is something that is important to our stability and groundedness. So hips open, hips closed, up to you, but depending upon the range of motion that you have, especially in that back ankle, okay? Again, these are all just different sensations. All cues are there to help you feel different ways in your body. They're not mandates, they're not ultimatums, okay? They're just cues to help you feel and recognize different types of motion in your body. Now, if your hips are squaring towards the front of the mat, go ahead and push back through the outside edge of that back foot, okay? Back through the outside edge of that back foot, and that'll help you feel this lengthening and strengthening through that back leg, okay? From here, reaching your arms up overhead, and that's it. You've got it. That is a warrior one. So let's stay here for maybe 3 breaths. Really get comfortable with this posture. Let your body feel what it feels like so that if you move in and out of it more quickly, you'll be familiarized and you'll be able to come back to it and feel confident that you are aligned in a way that is challenging and supporting your body. From here, we're going to open up to warrior two, 1 to 2. We're counting. Then exhale, send the right hand forward, left arm back. And we're going to spin that back foot so that it's parallel now with the back edge of your mat. That means it's making a 90-degree angle. It's perpendicular with that front foot. There's a bunch of math terms. So fun. Okay? So one thing that you'll often hear is that you should be lining up your heel with the middle of your back foot. It's a nice suggestion, but again, if that doesn't feel exactly right in your body, or you need a little bit more space, or that makes you feel like you're walking on a tightrope, I mean, who knows? Maybe your feet are different sizes. Could be. Everyone's anatomy is different. And then go ahead and find the place that feels right for you. Another thing you'll hear often is that you don't want your knee to go over the ankle. Now, that can be true if we're really working on activating the quads and building some strength there, but if your knee goes over your ankle, it's not going to hurt you. That's what that ankle mobility is, okay? So again, different sensations for different postures and different ways of holding them, okay? Here, your hips really are trying to open to the long edge of the mat. This is a nice hip opening posture. You'll feel that really on your inner thigh on the right side. Arms and chest spiral open. Fingertips are like a tug of war between the front and the back so that you get that nice, beautiful, clean line along your arms. That's it, okay? Warrior two, let's stay here for a few breaths, really feeling calm and confident. Maybe tuck the tailbone just a little bit more. Maybe lift the heart just a little bit more. Looking over the left or the front fingertips. And then to move into warrior three, we're going to go ahead and drop the left hand down and reach it towards the front and spin into a lunge. So you're coming onto your left toes. Reach the arms forward, then reach the heart forward and bring the weight, the energy into that right foot so that you can lean into it and reaching the arms forward, reaching the left toes back. Now you're in our warrior three. So you're standing on an exalted right leg. Really, again, lift the kneecaps to actively engage this leg. And you'll notice that the hips might open, the hips might close. For this posture, we really are focusing on closing the hips because if we open them up, we're in half moon and that's not a warrior at all, okay? So from here, you might flex the toes as if you're standing against the wall with that standing leg. It might help you find stability, or you might point the toes. You might lift the hip up higher, seeing if you can challenge yourself. But again, focus on what happens to the hips. Are they remaining closed towards the floor or are they opening? Again, neither is bad. They're just different postures. And then reaching the arms out in front of you, shrugging the shoulders down, spiraling biceps towards one another. Let's hold for three. Just familiarizing with this posture. You got it. Then let's bend into the right leg, and we're going to drop that front foot down and come back into a warrior two. From warrior two is often where we find a reverse warrior, okay? So from here, we're going to flip our right palm up, reach it forward, spiral it up and overhead, and let the left arm trace down the left leg. So here you're noticing a really nice side body stretch in the right side body. We don't want to collapse or flail open. Instead, we're reaching up and over, making a nice line as if you could connect from this right finger down to that right knee, okay? So again, thinking about where that right knee is positioned and just noticing the different feelings. Again, no weight should be in this back hand. It's just flying there, looking pretty. And then our final warrior posture that we'll go to today is humble warrior. So loop that right hand down behind the back, interlace the fingers, and send them long, palms clasping towards one another, and then lower the right shoulder towards the inside of the right knee, lifting the arms up. This is our humble warrior. Ooh, no, we'll do one more too. This is fun. In this posture, you're really maintaining those warrior two legs, but reaching the arms up to the sky and allowing the heart and the forehead to melt. You'll notice the lower the heart and forehead melts, the more tension you will feel in that right hip. Use an active engagement of the inner arch of the front foot and the heel to really ground down and give you some more space to play with. Then finally, we're going to sit into Skandasana, which some people count in the warrior territory, okay? So bending into the back leg and then straightening out through this front leg. I know I typically call this Skandasana, but there are some people who may call this warrior at the back of your mat or I don't know, there are other names. But anyway, we'll take that here just as a little counterbalance to all that juicy work we've been doing in the right leg. Then let's inhale, coming back onto the right leg, plant the palms on either side, step it back, high plank. Let's lower down through our chaturanga. Inhale, lift the heart. And then exhale, send the hips high. And we're gonna do all of our warriors on the opposite side. Inhale, sweep the left toes towards the sky. And then as you exhale, pull the knee in towards the chest, squeezing the knee up towards the armpit, and then step the left foot through. Inhale, let's come up to a high lunge first. So staying on the ball of the right toes. Before we drop that back heel down to a 45-degree angle, coming into our warrior one, okay? Now we've already kind of been here and talked about the posture, so we'll take some time just to settle into it by really, again, reaching and grounding through the outside edge of that back foot, actively engaging by lifting the kneecaps so that the quad is really engaged, and sinking the hips a little bit lower by pulling the hips down and back and grounding down through the front heel. Then again, playing with the rotation of the hips, closed, open, whatever feels good, especially for your ankle mobility. And then inhale, lifting the arms up high. Let's stay here for 3 breaths. I love the idea of the name of this posture being a warrior, because yoga is a practice of becoming more gentle and more compassionate with yourself and others. But it takes the spirit of a warrior to truly be able to do that. Someone who knows strongly who they are and who they will become. Now let's go ahead and open up to warrior 2. And sorry, I'm not going to be facing you, but open up, reaching left hand forward, right hand back, and grounding down through the back foot so that it's parallel with the short edge of your mat. Tuck the tailbone under, bend into that front knee, play with lengthening, see if you can deepen your warrior. All just options. And let's stay for 3 breaths. Looking forward over that left hand. And then let's drop the right hand down and swing it all the way up, coming into a lunge. And then we're going to rock our weight forward and back until we feel confident that we can bring all of our weight onto our left foot, lifting into a warrior 3. Again, closing the hips down towards the earth, really reaching back through the back toes, reaching forward, settling the shoulders, engaging the core, and staying for 3 breaths here. And then gently bending into the left knee before setting it down, opening back up to warrior 2. Flip the left palm face up, reach the left arm forward before reaching back, reversing our warrior. Again, focusing on the sensation of that side body stretch and leaving all the weight out of the right hand. We're using our core strength to keep our body lifted here. And then reaching left hand around behind back body, interlacing the fingers to the opposite hand on top, sending the knuckles down, and then humbling the warrior. Left shoulder to the inside of the left knee. See if you can sink a little lower. Actively press the heel and the floor and the foot into the floor. Heel and floor away from each other so that you can really ground down. Use the inner arch strength to support you here. And then take that Skandasana, bending into the right leg and settling down at the back of your mat, stretching out through the left. Before inhale, reaching forward, planting the palms on either side of the foot. Step it back, high plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the heart. And then let's exhale, set it back. And there you have it, my friends. Those are our warrior basics. I hope you can go out and use those warrior postures today and use that warrior spirit of yours to spread some love and some goodness and compassion in the world. Thanks so much, and I'll see you again tomorrow.